Hello and welcome to Gullah Chat. I'm your host, Donna Pazant, and today we are chatting about the Gullah Festival. And joining me for this chat today is my cousin, Dr. Pazana Byers. Pazana, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
So,
Thank you for having me.
oh, of course. I'm glad you just, were able to join me again for this conversation. So we can tell the people a little bit about the Gullah Festival. Now, if you don't already know, the Gullah Festival is a festival that takes place every Memorial Day weekend in Beaufort, South Carolina. Now, we did not have the in-person festival in 2020 and 2021 because of the pandemic. We were not allowed to gather, but this year, we will be back in 2022, May 27th, 28th, and 29th at the waterfront in Beaufort, South Carolina. And that's the Henry C. Chambers waterfront in Beaufort, South Carolina. And if you don't already follow us on your social media pages, we are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on all those platforms. And then you can also go to our website for more information about the Gullah Festival and ticket prices, everything that's coming up. And that's at originalgullahfestival.org. Again, that's originalgullahfestival.org. I wanted to get all of that out of the way so that we could just stay in this chat and just be in the moment, because this is so important. If you've never been to the Gullah Festival, you have really missed out. It is an amazing experience. People come from all over just to experience Gullah. Now, yes, you can do research, you can learn about it, but there's really nothing better than being in the atmosphere, And so we're just going to talk a little bit about the Gullah Festival today. So Pazanta, just tell us a little bit about why you think the Gullah Festival is so not, well, we know it's important, but tell us a little bit about how it was created.
Well, it was created when our grandmother, Mrs. Rosalie Pazant, along with 3 of her daughters and Marlena McGee, so that was Rosalie Pazant, Lolita, her daughter Lolita Harris, Charlotte, and Reba, and then Marlena McGee. And they were trying to figure out the kind of activity that they wanted to have on Memorial Day weekend. I believe it was Lillian Jennings from the city of Beaufort approached our grandmother to say, why don't you put together something on Memorial Day weekend? Why don't we, it's up to you to decide whatever it is that you want to have. And so my grandmother called a meeting, and I happened to be there. Pregnant. I wasn't in the meeting, but I was there to witness it. But anyway, so this was in 1984. And so my grandmother was saying that because she was an English instructor, that she wanted to bring pride to her students who spoke Gullah. And she wanted to educate the community about the rich culture of the language of Gullah and so in the culture. And so she said, well, why don't we just celebrate Gullah? And everybody agreed. Yes, this is a jewel that nobody really knows about, on the islands. And then my grandmother said, well, what will we call it? And then our aunt Lolita said, well, then why don't we just call it the Gullah Festival? And so, and some people have said that, oh, well, the Gullah Festival did not start Gullah. No, it didn't start Gullah, but it started the celebration, the festival, the festivities of the Gullah culture, okay? And I remember even at our grandmother's funeral, the pastor said that our grandmother, as a result of the Gullah Festival, brought popularity to it. Gullah culture has been around since the 1600s, 1700s, okay? So the culture has always been there. but the appreciation and the celebration of it as a 3-day festival, which is how we do it, was not created until our grandmother and aunts and Marlena McGee sat down and said, hey, let's do it like this. So that was the birth of the Gullah Festival, the original Gullah Festival of South Carolina. And the first festival was held in 1985, I believe. They had their meeting in 84 and it was in 85, I believe. Mm-hmm.
That's such a wonderful story. And I think for those who are watching and who never knew that, they just got an earful. And
yeah,
it must be exciting for you to have been a part of history. Look at that, over 30 years.
Yes. You know what? Yeah. And just because I stood there and I watched the birth of such a beautiful thing, it's, you know, when I hear other people talking about their dreams of starting something, I'm like, you know, I support it, you know what I mean? Because I understand how things, the beginning of something, just from an idea. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I keep that in my mind. You know how your mind can take a picture of certain things. And it took a picture of that night, and it took a picture when Lolita turned and said, well, why don't we just call it the Gullah Festival? So yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
people come from all over to the Gullah Festival. When I say all over, I mean all over: California, Texas, Africa, you know, people, New York, they bring buses, you know, in groups. And, you know, it's so wonderful that they want to come down and experience that. But what do you think is the draw? Like, what keeps people coming after over 30 years?
I
Why?
know.
And now they're really clamoring to get back. We haven't had a festival for 2 years. And it's just, you know, the inquiries that we're getting, the phone calls, the emails, and it's a wonderful thing. People have missed it. What do you think is the draw? Like, why do people always want to come back? What do you think?
I think it's the warmth, it's the ambiance, it's the waterfront, it's the weather, it's beautiful, the palmetto trees, it's the food, it's the African dancing. You know, it's one thing I love to see when the African dancers get up on the stage and they start playing their drums. People in the vending section, everybody starts running toward the stage because they know that they're about to see some really some awesome African dancing. And it's just like a homecoming. It's a family reunion for so many. It's a family reunion for us. There are people that I see there that I never see until I go to the Gullah Festival, you know? So it really is like a homecoming. It's like a family reunion. And just experiencing, I mean, from the top of the day to the end of the day, it's just beautiful. The garments that the women come in and wear, and their head wraps and the jewelry. And like you said, they're coming from all over. Buses are lined up down Bay Street. And I mean, it's just so beautiful to just see Black people in all of our splendor. If there's any place you go and you see us celebrating ourselves, it's at the Gullah Festival. And then it's not just Black people, they're white people and Hispanics and whoever, everybody, you know, they hear that music and they smell the food. Everybody's welcome, you know. And it's really, it's the beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
It is. And, you know, when you mentioned the fact that it's like a family reunion, I think about the vendors.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they may not see each other, but at that festival, you know,
That festival. Mm-hmm.
They come from all over as well. And
yeah,
so it's
that's true.
nice to see them talking to each other.
I know.
It's so nice. And so, like, when people, you know, come, they're able to buy authentic, you know, garments, you know, from Africa, you know, the vendors. And this year, we're really putting a spotlight on our vendors because we appreciate their loyalty. We have not had an in-person festival in 2 years. So this year, we are putting a spotlight on our vendors. Friday, the festival is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But let me tell you, Friday, we are putting a spotlight on that vendor market. We want everybody to just come down, support those vendors. You know, if you know someone who might be interested in being a vendor, please have them email vendor@originalgullahfestival.org. I'll repeat that, vendor@originalgullahfestival.org. Or you could send them to the website and let them check out, you know, what's required, you know, in order to participate. But we are calling all our vendors back. And any new vendors who are interested in being a participant in the Gullah Festival, because when I tell you, people are coming for that food, that Gullah food, the craft vendors, and we have space for you. I'm getting it ready. I'm getting it ready. But I'm very serious about supporting those vendors this year because, you know, I don't know, I can't speak for anyone's situation, but I know after being in a pandemic for about 2 years, and you have a profession that requires you to constantly be around people, that's how you make your money. And so I really want our, you know, and if they weren't able to do that, I want to help them make up as much of that as possible at this year's festival. Because when I tell you, we have some good vendors and we have some loyal vendors. We have vendors who have been with us since the beginning. And maybe even if it's not those particular ones that started, it's their family members who have taken over, but they have stayed loyal to the Gullah Festival, and we appreciate that. And another thing I wanted to share with people is that we have, you know, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We're a nonprofit organization. So if you would like to donate, you know, to the festival, there is a link on the website. If you would like to become a sponsor, then we can get that going too. You could just email us at info@originalgullahfestival.org. I repeat that, info@originalgullahfestival.org. And, you know, if you know any corporations or any businesses that would like to sponsor the Gullah Festival in some type of way, now, you know, it doesn't have to be the entire festival, but if you would like to be a sponsor in some kind of way, let us know. We would be so grateful because the more we are able to take in, the more we can put out to you. Because as a nonprofit, we are all volunteers. We work all year long to put the festival together and bring you something great, but we're all volunteers. So nobody's getting paid.
Nobody's getting paid.
Nobody's getting paid, but we still have to pay the entertainment. We still have to, you know, pay the electrician. You know, we have fees that we must pay so that the festival can go on, and we will continue to do it. You know, what do they say about hook or by crook? Right. We will continue to put on this festival. So, but you can keep that into consideration. We also have a GoFundMe campaign that's going on. So if you go to GoFundMe, you know, the website, and it's Keep the Gullah Culture Alive. Keep the Gullah Culture Alive, and it's the original Gullah Festival. So, okay, back to the business at hand, which is the Gullah Festival. There is so much beauty in the culture. There is so much beauty in the Gullah culture, and sometimes it can be difficult to put it into words.
Yeah, it really is.
It is. It's like a feeling.
Yeah, it really is. Yes,
sometimes it's hard to put that into words. However, I happen to have a wordsmith here with me. She is an author, or shall I say authoress, whatever you prefer. But, you know, you have been able to pretty much put it into words in a poem.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
That you wrote about the Gullah Festival. And so if you, plus I think you wrote like what, 3 books? So if you could just tell them the name of the book that has, because you're gonna love the poem. If you could tell them the name of the book that has the Gullah poem in it, and then you could tell the other ones, but, and where they could find all 3. If you would do that now, that would be great.
Okay, sure. The poem that I'm going to read is out of the book called The Gathered Petals. And it's on, you can find this on Amazon.com. The name of the poem is The Festival, the Gullah. Okay, that's The Gathered Petals. And then I have 2 other books that I've written. One is called The Thin Veil, This is also, you can find this on Amazon.com. And this is
Okay.
also
I was gonna say, what did you say was in that? You had told me
uh,
before that.
The Thin Veil, and it's poetry and encounters with the unseen in the Gullah Islands. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Reaping the Sheaves. This is also on Amazon.com, and it's poetry and spiritual techniques of manifestation. So yeah, so but they can all be found on Amazon.com.
Wonderful.
And
So
okay.
listen, guys, if you have never been to the Gullah Festival and you just want to get an idea of what it might feel like or what it might look like, this poem is going to give you an excellent visual of what it might be like to experience the Gullah Festival. So let's just take a listen. Fazanta?
Okay. The festival, the Gullah. I hear rhythms in the wind, blowing through my skin, sending chills and thrills, carrying me within to universal beginnings, which soulfully danced its manifesting self into existence through the sun-kissed, burnt-skinned humans, children of the gods. Yes, they were here at the very beginning. God-fashioned hair for royal crowns, which we wore and wear so beautifully at the Gullah Festival. I see smiles so warm here, glowing and sparkling as the sun, as it dances on ocean's waves and ripples, warm rays blossoming chrysanthemums, and picturesque African greenery. I see home again at the Gullah Festival. What's that sound? Where's it coming from? Do I hear ritualistic drum calls on the fanfares from the motherland? Yes, I hear the drum calls echoing over the waterfront waves at the Gullah Festival. I smell seasonings hot and spicy, sweet and tempting, cooking through soulful delicacies made from my taste buds, leaving me no resistance and tearing down all barriers that once stopped me from indulging, that once stopped me from being myself. I am free. I can be my soulful and expressive me at the Gullah Festival. Come join the love, the fun, and the celebration of ourselves. We Gullah and we proud, bright colors slapping in the wind, garments and jewelry and crafts to begin, music with jazz and drums to tremor your soul, storytellers, dancers, the African legacy made whole. Come home and rest, lay your burdens aside, and you'll see why the universe smiles on the Gullah Festival.
That is so beautiful. I mean, I just had to close my eyes for a second and just go to the waterfront.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that experience, if you, people who have been already know what it's like when you're walking along that Gullah front, you know, along the waterfront, and
Yeah.
you hear the entertainment going on, you hear the drums, you hear the sound of the music coming from the vendor market, Lord Hester, man, he has that DJ thing going. But you see people shopping and everybody's walking, you smell the food from the vendors. I mean, you have to experience it at least once. If you've never been, you have to go at least once. And I'm telling you, after being away for 2 years, we can't wait to get back to that waterfront and just be together again, and give you what you've been missing for 2 years.
Yes.
So,
and I'd like to say too that while the Gullah Festival is going on at the waterfront, then there's also there are Gullah tours that we give of Beaufort and St. Helena Island. There's the Lest We Forget. It's like the Black Inventors Museum, and they have lectures, and sometimes they show films at Lest We Forget. That's held, I believe, at Tabernacle Baptist Church. And there's a Decoration Day parade this year held on Saturday at the University of South Carolina Beaufort campus. So it's right there, just a few blocks down from the waterfront park. But I'm telling you, it's just Gullah all over. I mean, a lot of stores are open and downtown on Bay Street, because they know that a lot of customers, they welcome the customers as well. The vendors, the attendees, it's just so wonderful. The vendors are awesome. They're just awesome. I mean, I've seen some artwork. I've seen pocketbooks there that are designed that you cannot find anywhere else. I would literally take a picture of some of the pocketbooks and things that are just so beautiful. Just so beautiful. You just won't find anywhere else. And these vendors come from all over the country, all over. They come from Africa. We have just vendors who come here every year for the Gullah Festival. So just know these vendors are not just making their stops nationwide. These are vendors who plan to come to South Carolina, to the Gullah Festival, to sell their wares, who are from Africa. So, I mean, you're going to find things there that you just will not find anywhere else. And it's wonderful. It's just so awesome. Mm-hmm. And Ron Days is going to be there this year from Gullah Island. Of course, Aunt Pearlie Sue. We have African dancers from Sierra Leone. Wow, storytellers, spoken word. It's just a lot of you just gotta come. That's all. You gotta come, you gotta feel it. And that's the thing, you have to feel it. You never know who's gonna show up. You never know who's gonna show up. So it's a wonderful thing. So yeah, it's just the Gullah Festival is wonderful. And you and I were talking at another time about the feel of the Gullah culture and so on and so forth. I was thinking earlier today how when you're a little girl and you just hear stories of, Dr. Buzzard, and how people had to go and get, certain, herbal tinctures to heal this and that and so forth. And, again, going to the beach and just walking down Bay Street, Charles Street and Green Street, and everything is Gullah. It's a feeling. It really is a feeling, and it's something that you cannot put into words. And I truly believe that that's why people come back, because it's something they cannot find anywhere else, and they can't put it into words. And it's in 34 years now that we've had the festival, we have not had a reason to call the police for any kind of, disruption or anything like that. The police are out there just chilling. They are having a good time. They're laughing with everybody. The entire atmosphere is filled with love and warmth. Everybody's getting along. Again, like I said earlier, I don't care what color or race or religion you are. I don't care. Everybody's just getting along. And it's just a lot of love. And it's really beautiful. And I wish that when people leave the Gullah Festival, that they would take that same mind, that same spirit with them and go back out into the world. But this is the place where we come to enjoy the culture, enjoy African culture, Gullah culture. We see how much of it has merged, and how the Gullah culture has preserved African culture. And I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful event, and you just can't miss it. Yeah.
We talked about that storytelling, and I don't know who's not familiar with Aunt Pearlie Sue, but you know, she is a storyteller that you will see at every Gullah Festival.
Yeah.
Aunt Pearlie Sue and the Gullah Kinfolk, and you know, they put
Yes.
on that Decoration Day play. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you've got to see that play. It is amazing. And I think
Yes.
maybe a parade on Monday, but I know that, you know, as far as the festival is concerned,
Mhm.
the Decoration Day play is something that you have to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And that the Decoration Day play is going to be Saturday at 3 and 5 o'clock. Okay, that's the play. And she was actually just on Good Morning America last week. So we celebrate that. And yeah, so we're the world is learning about us, finding out about us, and I'm really happy that they get to come to the festival and see all of it together,
And
all of it together.
learn. They get to
You
learn
know?
and get to see these things firsthand. The
Yes,
basket weavers,
yes,
the quilt makers, you get to meet these people. And so
yes,
that's
yes.
just something we really would encourage, you know, and if you can't make it for whatever reason, still learn about it and, you know, just follow us on social media and see what's going on, you know, see what we post. And if something that we post is something that you feel might educate someone else, share it. If you like it, I mean, when I see things on social media that I think could benefit someone else or that I think someone else might like, I share it. I like it and I share it. And
Yeah.
so if you would do that for us, that would be great. But listen, I am so glad that you joined us for this conversation today. Well, that you're watching it. I'm glad you are tuned in. You can go to our website and you can look and read the story about how it started. I mean, Dr. Pazana Byers gave you, you know, the synopsis because she was in the room. If you want to just hear that or read that again, go and look at how it all transpired, the people. You can see the information about Decoration Day and how the Gullah Festival came about because of that. You can read about one of our past Gullah Festival Families of the Year. You can see some video clips that are on there, past Gullah Festival related. You can see some of the people who have entertained us over the years. Just check it out. Just go like tab by tab by tab. And it will take you on a journey. You can find out who our committee chairs are and just see what what we have going on, some of the awards that we won. I mean, we've been around for over 30 years. We have been gracing that waterfront. And
Yeah.
one time we were at the technical college, but we have had that festival. And the only thing that stopped us last year was the pandemic. So I would just encourage you to just come along this journey with us. Fazanta, would you like to leave anything with the people this evening?
I think that's about it. Just come to the festival, and it will be something you will never forget. You will never forget. Yeah.
Well, everybody, I just hope that you be blessed, and I'll see you again when we come back to our next Color Chat. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, Fazanta.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.